You mentioned Wing. So you are a new employee at this company called Wing, doing some really amazing drone aerobotics stuff like that. Talk to me a little bit about what Wing is, and then also kind of your position there.
Yeah, so Wing is a part of Alphabet, which Alphabet is Google. And
Yep.
so Wing focuses on drone delivery. And a lot of people ask me why. Like, why would I leave filming? Why would I leave drone racing even and do all this stuff? A lot of it was because I just wanted a career change. I feel like I'm 24 and I'm young, and I started thinking about what am I going to be doing 10 years from now when I want to have kids and have a family. And, obviously a stable job is kind of that. We can't all play forever. Some of us do, but most of us don't get that luxury, even world champion drone racers. Um,
Sure.
and yeah, just the opportunity to come to Wing was referred to by a friend of mine named Alex Zavada. He used to be at Flight Test, and he works at Wing. And he's like, you could come on, you could be a flight operator, you could help do footage, capture aerial stuff for us. That's how I started off as in the company earlier this year, just coming in, helping out with the operations side of things. We're delivering packages for Walmart and DoorDash all across the DFW Metroplex right now. So it's actually happening, and to be part of something that is so cool, is so innovative, is super exciting. Everyone I work with has some type of cool backstory or something like that. And, I can't think of many other places where you'll get that. So it's really exciting. And there's a lot of stuff too that I'm doing behind the scenes with Wing right now that can't talk too much about, but are really
Yeah.
exciting, including things like demos and stuff like that.
Well, you're not just flying FPV. Like, what's your? I assume you're not just flying
Yeah,
FPV.
I wish.
What's your role? What are you up to?
So flight operations right now, and as well as doing marketing and demo stuff for Wing.
Yeah, the way that I even found out, I was watching either Slow Mo Guy's video or Adam Savage's video, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, Vanover just appeared out of nowhere. Like, what the heck? And it was awesome that you got to be on the channel. But then I was also like, suddenly, what is Wing? And I'm doing all this research and all this stuff, and I was like, this is really neat stuff.
Right. Yeah. Now, I think one of the things that's really cool about Wing is they like to hire the best talent. And so you see that when you get into the company, you work with all these engineers and they have all these crazy backgrounds. And my day-to-day role is kind of like a Swiss Army knife for the company. It's like I do flight operation stuff. I do FPV filming for marketing stuff.
All right, I hope that you're enjoying this so far. Just a quick reminder, what you're watching right now is actually a part of a full 80-minute interview that I did with Vanover. If you're interested in seeing the entire conversation, you can watch the whole thing over on my Patreon. Just click the link in the description below. Now, let's jump back in.
My most recent ventures in the company have been working with the demo side of things. So that's actually really fun. That's going out and doing demos for Walmart or for filming for the website and stuff like that, getting to play with the drones hands-on, getting to create missions and stuff like that. It's honestly a lot of fun. I feel like I have to kind of explain it in depth to people who are in the drone community because they're like, how is that like more fun than some of the stuff you're doing? But I guess just getting to see the future in real life happening. I joked about IRL and whatnot, but like we're delivering stuff. It's happening right now across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We're delivering to hundreds of thousands of people right now. Stuff from Walmart, DoorDash. I mean, we're literally creating a service that is changing lives on a day-to-day basis. To be a part of that, even just to be a small part of that, whether it's flying an FPV drone, being part of flight operations, demo side, whatever it is, it's really, really cool to be part of the future.
Yeah, I was talking to, this was a while back, I was talking to Manny, and we were talking about how cool it would be to have a drone racing league similar to like how, I mean, a lot of sports do this, but NASCAR, where like there are teams sponsored, or F1 would be a better example, teams sponsored by certain companies that want to excel in creating drones, and then they use this very similar to F1 as a testing grounds for some of the more extreme versions, and then they do something on the side that where they use drones, but then use the experimentation and research from the drone racing. And I think Wing would be such a good example of that, or Amazon, or some of the other bigger companies that like there could be a Wing team that is exploring how they can push their drone to the absolute maximum in the drone race, and then that also helps them on the side. Do you think that there's ever, I mean, if there was there's not even a league that does this right now, but if there was, do you think there's an opportunity, not necessarily just Wing, but like the companies would be interested in that? Or do you think it's just more viable for them to do the research on their own outside of a big science experiment that's like a F1 race kind of thing What do you think about that?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think that there's, even with Wing, there's definitely an opportunity. I mean, like Wing is developing aviation technology like crazy. We don't just pull stuff off the shelves, slap it together, and we deliver packages. I mean, we are custom innovating propellers, for example, that are much quieter and noise reductive because we're flying over neighborhoods. So like we're doing all these things, and I definitely think there's going to be eventually, maybe not Wing, but maybe some crossover. I mean,
Yeah.
Google Cloud sponsored the Google Cloud Race in 2022. You know, the one that I, you know, crashed out in with. And fun fact, that was actually in front of a bunch of Wing people that obviously 2 years later I would meet. And so when I got into Wing, people are like, yeah, I saw drone racing. I remember I went out to San Jose, and I'm like, yep. So you remember? And they're like, yeah,
That's funny. That was in
and stuff
23.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, people give me a hard time about that from Wing. But with that, I definitely think, to your point, yeah, there's definitely gonna be opportunities for that crossover. I think we see it a lot more with like the AI side of drones, where like they want to fly themselves and whatnot. But I think we'll see something in the future. I would love to see it. I would love to see companies, you know, getting in and getting involved with, you know, organizations like Drone Racing League, Multi GP, and others.
Yeah, the AI side of things really is interesting to me. Although I haven't done a super big deep dive, I know DRL does an AI league, and there's a couple other companies that do more of this. Like you are a team of coders just trying to come up with a way to get the drone to fly, not necessarily a pilot. I think that's like really fascinating. I don't know if it's like as cool of a spectator sport as drone racing itself, but I think there's definitely a spot for it.
Yeah, totally, for sure.